Welcome to Pioneer Sideline, episode 167, coming at you here from the University Center. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. And softball, they were in action this past week. They had a two-game home series, finally getting to play at Lynn Field out in Kennedy Township, and then finally going on the road down south to Kentucky. They played this past week, against Pitt Greensburg, and then went down to play Asbury University and Midway College. Let's take a look and see how the Pioneers did last week as we bring our analyst here, Tim Hardy. Tim, you see there, game one, the Pioneers do a great job winning 11-2 in 5 innings with a 10-run rule, or 9-run rule, And in game two, they lose 12-2 in 5 innings. Then the Pioneers go down to Asbury, win 2 hard-fought games, 1-0 and 2-1. Tim, I mean, you look at that, you see the bats, but then you don't see the bats, but then you see the pitching come through, and those 2 hard-fought wins, it's been that roller coaster ride of inconsistency. Let's make some sense of it here. What did the Pioneers do last week?
Last week, they showed that they can really do good when it comes to on a pitch and roll, and they can really bring that out when it comes to really need it. They end up winning 1-0 at Asbury and then 2-1. That's some really good pitching there to help them out and involved in a lot of things also with it. You got to say it's really good that they can produce runs. We know they can do it, but they just got to do it on a consistent basis.
Now, how big is that, though, with they going down to Asbury? They win 2 games with only 3 combined score runs between the 2 games. How big is it to really see the pitching come in and do it in a very dominating fashion, only holding Asbury to 1 run in 2 games?
That's a big confidence boost, I have to say, for Point Park. Being able to stop their opponent, Asbury, and not allowing them to get a lot of runs, it shows that they can rely on the pitching. And just in case if runs can't be the thing that having them win, they can rely on pitching so they can rough it out.
But the only thing is, I have a question before that, though. How big of a morale booster was that for that team after taking the beating they did in the second game against Pitt Greensburg, losing 12-2? How big of a morale boost is that for that pitching to really come in and just nail down the door?
Yeah, it showed that they was not really no joke at all. They showed that 12-2 was really just a fond memory, and they came in there against Asbury, was able to get the pitching they needed so they can win the game, which really came through for them.
Now, the Pioneers will play Midway College while they were down there also. Let's take a look and see how they did against Midway College. They would try to come out victorious, and, well, the Pioneers did so there. The first game there against Midway, the Pioneers win that one 2-0. Geary goes 3 for 4 with an RBI. Gabby Voigt 2 for 3 with a run scored. Kate Reese goes 7 innings with only 5 hits, no runs scored. She goes the complete game shutout and with 2 strikeouts. That gets the Pioneers up to 15-8 on the season, 8-3 in conference. Tim, how big is that for the Pioneers? They're 8-3 overall in conference, 15-8 on this season. And then, again, the pitching comes through. A complete game shutout for Kate Reese, the sophomore pitcher.
That's great when it comes to Point Park being able to show out there and be able to get the runs they was able to get. But it also shows that there was a lot of infield contribution because there was only 2 strikeouts during the game. So you can see the whole Point Park group is working as a group.
Now, the hitting you see in the last few games, they're only putting up a combined 5 runs. But, hey, 3 wins, Tim. The pitching's really coming through. But does that worry you just a tad bit if the hitting just really isn't there scoring a lot of runs?
It worries me just a little bit, I have to say, when it comes to Point Park. Not them being able to rely on the runs, but, hey, a win is a win. So if they could be able to keep going up with the pitcher and try to have the runs contribute later on, and probably just right now, then that would be great for them.
And especially look at that scorecard there. You don't see Ashley Moran on. She's a real big power hitter for the Pioneers team. What does she really need to do moving on forward to really carry this team? She's someone that's a big power bat in their lineup.
I say she needs to find that one pitch that she likes, probably right down the middle for a strikeout or something, being able to get a good hit. Once she gets on a roll, she'll be on fire for the rest of the season. I can see it now.
Now, the Pioneers, they had one more game against Midway College. They tried to become victorious. Now, let's see how the Pioneers did in Game 2 of that series against Midway College. And it was successful, and Ashley Moran, she must have been listening in there for a quick little analysis. Goes 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 RBIs as the Pioneers win that one 6-2. Manovich goes 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Kelsey Robertson, one of her first appearances of the season. The Pioneers get their last season ace to return. She goes 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, but 3 strikeouts. One of her first appearances of the season here, Tim. The ace Robertson, how big is that for her to come out and have a pretty good outing her first time out this season?
Yeah, it looked a little rough there having 2 errors on the board, but she played really good for having a good first start. She was able to go out there and rely on her hits this time and being able to help her out. So it worked really good for her.
And then we mentioned Ashley Moran. She needed to become a big factor in that power lineup. Tim, she must have heard the quick little analysis we were just talking about. Goes out, goes only 1 for 3, but puts up a run for herself and 2 RBIs. Timely hitting, and that's what you need out of your cleanup hitter.
Yeah, production is production, I say. I see that she was able to get herself some hits and being able to bring in some runs. It's just a start. She'll do fine throughout the season.
Now, Tim, overall, we look at that. Actually, we were just mentioning how the hits were not really coming through. They weren't really scoring a lot of runs there. So, Tim, you look at, they put up 6 runs in that game. So the bats finally come through and give a chance for the pitching to not really have to pitch the shove, but still the pitching comes through and only gives up 2 runs. So you look at that final game, one of those perfect storm games where the hitting and pitching both come together, and you see the Pioneers, they can compete with just about anyone when that happens.
Yeah, that's perfect harmony, I have to say, when it comes to when the pitching and the running are able to come in real good. So as long as they can do that, they'll do well.
And that's going to do it for our softball analysis here. Tim, great stuff as always. We'll be right back with baseball analysis with Phil Novacek. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this on the Pioneer Sideline.